too.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Hey, Josh, I'll start with you. I was looking at the stats, and Ole Miss, they have 34 sacks and 81 tackles for loss. I think for some like 350 yards, like three and a half football fields and lost yards. And I know some of that are probably against not great teams, but just as an offensive lineman, what do you think of their defensive line and just all the penetration and lost yardage plays they're getting, and how do you combat that?
Yeah, they're a talented group. This is definitely going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a welcome challenge. We're excited to see what we can do against one of the best D lines in the nation, and we're just excited to get out on that field.
And Eric, I think this is going to be your third. You'll be on the. I don't remember if you played in the game in 2020. Did you play in that game?
I played a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be, Lane Kiffin. He's won a lot at Ole Miss. He hadn't won at Fayetteville. He's gotten, beat twice and pretty good, margins. Um, just what do you think about Ole Miss coming into Fayetteville again, and how you guys have been successful against them, previously at home?
I mean, we just been technique sound really when we played against them. I mean, we just trying to look forward to doing that same thing again, man. Just going to that mindset of we know they got a great offense, but to line up and play our brand of football.
Now, for both you guys, Hudson got back. He started the other day and had a couple takeaways. And obviously, Eric, you play with him for forever, it seems like. And Josh, I don't know how well you've got to know him. But just what do you guys think about, Hudson, his journey from walk on to SEC? I think he's played in like 50 plus games now. What do you thought? I know, Eric, I know you have too. Just wondering what do you guys, what do you think about him as a teammate? What he brings to the team, and just kind of his journey from walk on to a key SEC player.
I mean, I think he's a great player for us, man. I kind of sound like me as myself. I'm quiet. He's more of a quiet guy too, but I mean, his play speaks for itself, man. He gets better every year, and he's a leader for us.
He's definitely a talented player, but I get to see him in the classroom just as a person, and however talented he is on the field, he's even a better person. So,
How many classes do you have with him?
so we're in the MBA program together. So pretty much 75% of our classes for the past 2 years we've been together.
Okay, that's cool. Well, hey, I may have a couple more questions, but I'll turn it back to Oliver. Thanks.
Jackson, go ahead.
Josh, I know the offensive line has had some shuffling recently. Just what have you seen working right next to a Marion and over the past couple of weeks, and how he's settling in at right tackle?
Yeah, he's been great. It's been awesome to see him step up into a bigger role this year, and just he's handled it with grace and elegance, and he's done everything coach has asked him to do and more. And so I'm impressed with his level of play and just how he was, whenever his number was called, he was ready to step up.
Sam has kind of told us that his athleticism is something that allows him to be successful over there outside. How does that how do you see that with him, and how does that impact maybe the entire offensive line, his athleticism?
Yeah, I mean he's very athletic. He's a gifted athlete. He can set the edge really well, and in the run game he's a force. And so it just every day in practice he brings just another level that kind of elevates the rest of us.
And Eric, you guys got to play with a big lead kind of for the first time, at least in SEC play on Saturday. Was there, Coach Pittman said you guys maybe not used to that. Is there a little bit of a learning curve and maybe a different mindset when you're playing with that big of a lead as a defense?
Yeah, man. We had jumped out to leads like against Oklahoma State and stuff like that. So we kind of lost it at the end. So we just wanted to be more consistent with that, man. Going to attacking every quarter the same and not really slacking off. So I mean, that was kind of a big focus for us. And even though we kind of did let up some plays also, but I think we learned a lot from it from earlier than the season to now.
What have you seen on film from Ole Miss, specifically up front in the run game?
Man, they're a big group, man. You got two guards transferred from Washington, man. They're talented players, and you got two tackles that very talented players. And their offense running through the run game. I mean, they got a quarterback that can do both. He can sling it, he can throw it. I mean, he can make plays at anything really. So I mean, we just got to be on our P's and Q's with that.
Thanks, guys.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, Eric, Ole Miss's offensive numbers since Kiffin's been there have been really good, total offense and scoring. What is it? What is it makes them go? Why have they been so good?
I think it's tempo, man. I think the tempo they they tempo a lot of teams and make them where they can't really think. So they kind of lose a lot of their assignments and technique just because they're tired. So that's a bigger thing that we're working on, man, trying to match their tempo.
Josh, Taylor's numbers the last 3 games, completion percentage has been really strong, and it seems like he's more comfortable in the pocket compared to the 3 games prior. What have you seen of maybe his development as he continues to learn the offense?
Yeah, I think that just goes for everyone in the offense. I mean, the more games you get under your belt in an offensive system, you're going to perform better. I mean, I know that's the case for me personally. I can assume that's the case for everyone else. But I mean, he's definitely just a great leader for us, and we're excited to take the field with him on Saturday.
Eric, Landon was telling us on Saturday that the goal line stand package, y'all did the hippo package with bigger guys in. Can you maybe talk about how that worked? And then specifically the 4th down play, what did you see on that one?
You talking about against Mississippi State?
Yeah, last week, the 4th down,
Yeah.
the goal line stand.
Yeah, I just seen, well, for me, like you said, we ran like a little hippo with a big package in, and they on my side, their splits were a little wider than usual. So I kind of felt like they were finna run towards me. And I mean, T. Will called a great defense play, and the linebacker Bradshaw came down, and we made a great play.
Gotcha. And finally, Josh, their defensive numbers, but really high up there, scoring and run defense. What's imperative for you guys to get done on Saturday to have a chance to move the ball and score?
Yeah, we have to be assignment sound and technique sound. They're going to move a lot. They're going to have a lot of line games that we're going to need to handle. And as long as we play with great pad level, keep a base, and know our assignments, we just got to execute the game plan.
In the press box, we all knew Taylor was feeling better on that first touchdown run. It was the old Chris Berman whoop, whoop, whoop kind of run. What did you guys, what happened on film review when y'all watched that one? What did everybody say?
It was just, I mean, it was a great play. I mean, he's a gifted athlete. He makes plays like these, it seems, nearly every week. And so it's just, I'm excited to see what he's going to do on Saturday.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, you guys, both veteran players, obviously seniors, and what, you got 4 or 5 games left. Is that sunk into you guys at all? And just kind of reflect on your careers to this point. And I'm sure it feels like it's going fast.
I mean, mine's been a long career, man. It's been very long. And so, yeah, I haven't really looked too much into it yet. It's probably going to hit me the last game. But as of right now, I'm just really focused on the rest of the games I have left. So I'm worried about Ole Miss right now, but it hasn't really hit me yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right now, I'm just focused on Ole Miss.
Nothing. not even senior day when that popped up. Nothing.
No, I mean, it'll hit me on senior night, but the season's so hectic you can't really look ahead.
Yeah, Eric, I wanted to ask you about Jackson Dart more specifically. What you guys see out of him as a quarterback, and you guys have faced just freshmen and redshirt freshmen. You've faced veteran quarterbacks. Just your thoughts on facing a guy that's older like that, and the talent of Jackson Dart, a guy that you've faced plenty of times before.
Yeah, man. He has a lot of experience in the SEC, man. He's played against great defenses, and each week he's gonna play against that, man. And just his play style, he can turn nothing to something. I mean, you'd think you have a sack, and then next thing you know, he'll flick it off to the back, and they'll go for 15 yards. So he's a great player. He can do both. He can run. He can throw. I mean, we got to be on a P's and Q's for both of that.
Thanks, Phil.
Bob, close it out here.
Okay. Hey, you guys are going to be facing Pooh Paul. Eric, I guess you won't be facing him, but he was your teammate for a while, and Josh, you may literally be running into him. I was just wondering, what do you guys think about how Pooh Paul's doing over there, and do you guys ever talk to him, or do you kind of keep an eye on how he's doing or anything?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, man. So I see a lot of stuff he's doing. I mean, he's having a phenomenal season so far, man. And for me, he was my teammate, man. I'm proud of him, and I mean, he's gonna come in with a little extra chip on the shoulder for our game for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's got the stats to back it up. He's a gifted player. He's going to test our mettle. I'm sure he's going to come into this game with a little extra fire, and so we're just going to have to handle that and just see what happens.
Yeah, Eric, you got the defense obviously did a great job getting takeaways and the goal line stands. in the red zone or inside the 5. But one thing Sam Pittman talked about were the missed tackles. And I don't know if Mississippi State's just as good at breaking tackles. They're pretty good on offense if they can hang on to the ball. But just has that been a point of emphasis this week? Maybe the missed tackles, because that, you guys have tackled pretty well most of the year.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, man. It's a big, huge emphasis on tackling, man. Just taking the right angles and using the sideline to our advantage, and using our teammates also to our advantage, man. Just coming in together as one, making the tackle, and not trying to just whiff blocks and whiff tackles. So I mean, it's been a huge emphasis this week.
I wanted to ask you a couple extra things about Hudson, if I could. He's got 6 picks, of course, and he had 3 in that Ole Miss game in 2020. I know it seems like a million years ago, at least it does to me. But what do you remember about that game? That was kind of Hudson's coming out party, whatever you want to call it.
Oh no, it was huge, man. I was excited for it, man. I ain't really never seen like nothing like that before. 3 picks in the game, so it was definitely a huge momentum boost for us during that game, man.
In the 6-year guys, Hudson made that stop on 3rd down in the first quarter, and Mississippi State may have thought they scored, but the refs didn't give it to them, so it doesn't count. And then that set you up for the 4th down. What do you think about a couple of you 6th-year guys, 12 years combining the program, making that 3rd and 4th down play, and just especially Hudson, because if he doesn't make that play, you can't make your play,
I mean, it's huge, man. Just a testament to the willpower that we have, man. I mean, a lot of people could have easily just let up on that and it would have been a touchdown. But I mean, just the motor that he has just to make that play, man. So, like you said, I couldn't make my play without him making that play. So it was huge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm good. I appreciate you guys.
Good stuff, guys. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
Saturday. Bob? Do you think?
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for being on. Hey, Hudson, I guess this can be your 5th time to play Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I bet Lane Kiffin's looking at that depth chart going, "Oh crap, I got to play that guy again." After what do you remember about that 2020 game? That was kind of your coming out party.
And, that was a long time ago. So I mean, I don't really look at that too much, but just focus on this game in front of us.
Yeah, you remember you had 3 picks, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, and I know you were out for a while, and then maybe you were limited because of the back, but you got to start last week. I think played 40+ snaps, got a couple takeaways. How good was it to really get back in the flow last week?
Yeah, it was just you sometimes take it for granted. So being out, I got a different look on the game, and so just being able to go out there and compete with my brothers, man, it's a blessing.
You got 6 picks now, and I think 4 fumble recoveries and 2 forced fumbles. So you've obviously, what is it about you and having a nose for the ball, do you think? What's the
I think I mean, good things happen when you run to the ball, and so just being rewarded for that, I guess. I'm not really sure. Just kind of playing physical, playing with the edge. That's about it.
Okay, I might have a few more. I'll turn back to Oliver. Thanks.
Ray, go ahead.
Yeah, Hudson, sorry, I'm going to ask you about the 3 picks again. I know you don't want to talk about the past, but for you went from a walk-on, nobody really knew, like, who is this guy out there? What was it like, though, when you step on campus Monday and, everybody knew who you were suddenly?
I mean, that was a good feeling, obviously. I think the most important was being able to be on scholarship, and that was a goal of mine since I got up here. And so I think that was the biggest for me. But yeah, it was just a really long time ago. Just can hardly remember it now.
Now, you've played against Jackson Dart a couple of times. You've probably seen him from every angle in the secondary, from safety to corner to nickel, probably. What is it about him that makes him so good and so efficient?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good thrower, and then he's sneaky with the run. I mean, he can make plays when there's nothing there, and so I mean, we got to be ready for him on all levels of the defense.
Luke, obviously, I don't know if it's ever said anything about it, but you've been dealing with a back. It's clear that you've been, in anguish sometimes early in the season. But it looks like things are straightening out for you. Was that a lot of relief and let go of frustration, I guess, to have those 2 touchdown catches and just kind of, show, hey, I'm back?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say in the beginning of the year, I'd struggled a couple games with my back, but now I'm 120% healthy. I feel the best I've felt since I got here, and even in high school. And then Saturday being able to get those 2 touchdowns, and then Andreas getting those. I was honestly more happy seeing Andreas get those touchdowns, but it was just a really good day for us as a room and as a team. And it proved it with how well we ran the ball, and then that helped us in the passing game.
Yeah, I know the guys that left are your brothers and stuff, but is that, I mean, frustrating at all that, it's a smaller room now and, it's up to a lot fewer guys. I think you got 3 scholarship tight ends now.
Yes, I mean, like you said, we love them, but they're gonna go on and do other things that are gonna benefit them. But I mean, it's a really big opportunity for Maddox and all of our other guys, Andreas, for all of us to step up because I mean, we all get the same reps at practice. That's just how we practice. So I mean, it'll be a really great opportunity for them to step up, and we're excited and headed in the right direction.
Thanks, fellas.
Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Luke, that 4th and 1 touchdown that you caught the other day, back in 08, Petrino called that Cowboy Get It. And I wonder, does it have a different name now, or is it still Cowboy Get It?
I guess I can say it because that's a huddle play. Yeah, it has the same Cowboy Get It pass, right or left, but yeah, I mean it has the same analogy that it had back then.
All right. I learned something on Sunday that it was National Tight Ends Day, and it's pretty new. Had you heard of that before?
A little bit last year. No, but I mean it's a cool day for us to be recognized, but I mean I think every position should be recognized.
The progression of Bobby Petrino's offense, we were talking to Josh Braun earlier, and he said not only Taylor, but everybody, the more and more you get in it, the more just the better it becomes and the better, easier to run it maybe. What have you thought about maybe how things have progressed from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because there's so many checks and things that it all starts with the quarterback, but it starts with us too on some plays. So being able to have these games under our belt and have experience of what looks we're gonna get has helped us as an offense and the receivers and us in the passing game, knowing like when we should break and all kinds of stuff. It's gonna start paying off, and we're starting to gel together because we have games under our belt.
Gotcha. Hey, Hudson, we were talking to Eric Gregory just a minute ago about the goal line stand, and the last 2 plays on it were your tackle with a guy, got so close to crossing the plane, and then his on 4th down. The 2 old heads contributing right there. What did you think of that goal line stand?
I mean, it was awesome just to see on 4th down them getting through the line, and that was all the D line and linebackers, man, creating push. Just it's about kind of who wants it more when you get that close, and so I mean that's a big testament to those guys up front.
What do you think of Ole Miss's personnel, particularly in the pass catching game?
Yeah, I mean they're really exposed. So they got the I think top 10, top 5 running and passing. So I mean, I think they start with their running game and it kind of opens up their passing game, and they go so fast that it just kind of we got to be ready for that because can't be cutting guys free or missing our assignments because we're tired or they're going fast.
Okay. Hey, my last couple things, Luke. The touchdown run Taylor had, I mean, it was clear his knee was feeling a lot better when he juked that guy around. What did y'all think of that when you saw that in film room?
I mean, as soon as we got here, really our first scrimmage, you could tell that he was going to be able to make those plays for the whole entire year. And then with his knee, he's a really tough guy. And it just shows that he's willing to get inside for treatment and take care of his body so he can be able to play with us because he didn't miss a day of practice after he got hit. So, I mean, it just shows his testament to his body and especially to us as an offense.
His completion percentage the last 3 games has been remarkably better than it was the 3 before. What have you maybe seen from him specifically on his comfort level?
I think he's like we talked about earlier. He's just, I mean, we're all getting more experience with the offense, and then he's really trusting his offensive line, and he's making plays when he needs to. Because, I mean, as you guys can see, he can get out of the pocket and run and be dangerous. So, I mean, he's just going to get better and better, and it's exciting knowing that he still has another year if he wants to take it. So, yes.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Jackson.
Hudson, when did the outside cornerback's a new position for you. I know you're accustomed to position changes over the year, but when did Sam come to you and say, "Hey, want to try this out?" And what's maybe the biggest difference working out there?
Um, yeah, I think the schemes changed a lot since I last played it. So that was kind of the biggest difference, trying to just get the terminology. And I mean, we're in the same meeting room, so it wasn't that hard to pick up, but just the footwork and terminology was a little different. But what caused that? I think we were kind of limited and we had people injured, and we had Miguel coming back for safety. So I mean, we had more depth there than we did corner. So he just asked me if I wanted to move, or asked me if I could move. Yeah.
Do you remember when that was? Like maybe the UAB game, I think you guys might have had, was when the injury started coming up.
Um, that might have been the week before Tennessee, I
Okay.
think.
Gotcha. Texas A&M. That makes sense. And Luke, for you, man, the two touchdowns. I know Sam, Coach Pittman's been praising your blocking all year. Was there ever an ounce of frustration that maybe the receiving output wasn't quite maybe what you thought it would be before the season and before this past week?
I mean, not really, because all we can do as a tight end room is just put wins on tape for receiving stuff. And I mean, that's what we've been doing in practice, and then just trusting Coach Petrino and his plan. Because at the end of the day, it's about us winning games. And if he wants us to go in there and block, then we'll go in there and block. And then if he wants me or any other tight ends to get out and run routes and catch balls and be explosive, we'll do that too. So I mean, I think it was just a big thing was just trusting and not letting anything frustrate you, because if you do that, it'll ruin your game.
And I know you said you were happy for Andreas. How was the offense happy for Jordan as well? I think that was his first career touchdown this weekend.
Yes, I think we are just all together happy. The offensive line played great. I think getting Jordan to get that touchdown just really allowed him to show his speed and what he can do and what he's been showing at practice.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Okay, Luke, I know you've improved as a blocker a lot. And Ole Miss, man, they got like 34 sacks, so they got some big time deep D ends. How big will the tight ends blocking be in this game, do you think?
I think we're going to be a factor for blocking them. And then Coach Petrino has some good stuff in the game plan for us. Just a lot of stuff that I probably can't talk about, but it'll be exciting just to go out there and perform with what we have been practicing.
And then Hudson, you obviously were a teammate of Poop Hall for I guess 2 years, and Luke, you were with him last year, and just wondering what you guys keep track. He's having a pretty good year at Ole Miss, and I mean that's the way it happens. Like Xavier comes in here, it's having a great year for you guys. It's kind of like chess pieces moving around the board or whatever in the SEC. But just wondering what you guys think about Pooh's season, and do y'all ever stay in touch with him, or just maybe catch him on TV or something?
Yeah, I mean, he's a heck of a player, heck of a guy. So I mean, I guarantee you he's gonna be fired up to come in here and show us what he's got. But yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I mean, he's had a really great year. And last year when he was here, he was a great teammate for us. And just the way he practices and plays, there's not many people who do it like him. So it'll be exciting to get to go against him this Saturday.
And then Luke, going against Hudson in practice, or maybe if you watch, I guess you don't watch much of the defense on film, but or if you get to watch during the game, but just kind of getting to know him the last couple of years. Well, what kind of player do you think he is as a sixer guy? What does he bring to the team?
I would say you really couldn't tell I mean, you can tell he's a 6-year guy by just his knowledge of the game. I mean, that's a big thing. He his knowledge, but the biggest thing is just how he flies to the ball, and that's why he's able to get so many interceptions because he watches film constantly. Like you can tell, like in the hotel before. I think the first time I noticed was last year, my freshman year, in the hotel before we were about to get on the buses. He's constantly watching film, so he's knowing what they're going to do before we even get out there, and then just his work ethic on and off the field. Because I mean, he's a really good student, and yeah, that's something that I've learned from him too.
Did you see him watching film on the bus or at the team meal, or where'd you see him watching the extra film, if you remember?
pretty much everywhere, but right before we get on the bus to go to the game.
You guys are just down the lobby or something, or what, waiting to get on? Are you guys roommates or on the
No.
road? Okay. Oh, and then I know you got bigger fish to fry than 6 wins, but that will get you bowl eligible. And is that anything you guys have talked about? I think got bowl eligible against Ole Miss 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Just is that anything that you guys have been talking about this weekend, bowl eligible?
I mean, he's mentioned it, but I think it's just the next game on the table, and so we got to take it as that.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Luke.
Oh, you can go to him if you want to.
No, you go ahead. I didn't mean to distract you.
No, you're good. I was gonna say it's just like what he said, just keep stacking on a good win that we had last week and try and keep this thing going in the right direction.
Yeah, and I had one more question about that third down tackle you made, I guess in the first quarter, where you kept the guy out. I mean, he looked like he was like an inch away, but you made the tackle. Some guys mentally just might give up on that play, but you stayed with it. And then you guys got the fourth down stop. Eric made the tackle and they didn't score. What do you remember about that play? And I guess how, kind of your attitude about just not giving up on something even when it looks like a guy's going to score.
Yeah, I kind of remember during the week they were talking about it in the red zone. They just like to get a lot of pick routes to the flats, and so my man ran across the field, and I saw like a blur of the tight end passing my face, so I just kind of passed my guy off, and I think he's just running the ball. That's really what made the play.
Yeah, Hudson, I misspoke. I had one more thing that popped in my head. So you've played corner, nickel, and safety, right? Am I right about that?
Sure.
Okay. What do you think's the key to that versatility? Because I don't think too many guys do that.
I think it's just doing what your coach should do, and I mean you're gonna mess up, but if you can learn from those mistakes and keep building on that, and then use that knowledge for every position, I think that's what's important.
Okay, I'm good. Hey, appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all.
See you Saturday.